Hello, Shalom, Namaste to you all. This morning I would like to offer a very simple sequence of joint mobilization. For many yoga practitioners, what is considered as a warm-up for the practice, which is normally the sun salutations, is not enough. We are approaching winter. In some places it's still not really felt, but it's going to arrive soon, at least in this part of the world where I'm living, in Israel, in Europe. And when the weather changes, our joints, the articulations of the body, they are many times the first areas that feel the change. You wake up in the morning and you feel kind of stuck, the muscles are more stiff. So by doing this 15-20 minute sequence, you can either be more warmed up to do your asana practice, or you can just consider this sequence as a practice. If you don't have time or you don't feel like doing a asana practice per excellence, let's say, you can just go over the joints in your body and you will definitely feel the impact of these movements. You will feel the heat, your breath capacity will improve, all the organs will wake up, you will feel more awake also mentally. So you can either choose to do it as a warm-up for the asana practice, or do it as a practice and then just start with your day. So let's get going. we will find a comfortable surface to stand on. Ideally you will use your yoga mat, but you can also do it just on the floor. And the first thing we're going to do is spread our feet parallel. For some people, depending on the structure of the legs, it's not very comfortable to stand exactly parallel because the knees will collapse inwards or something like that. So just keep in mind that your kneecaps should be aligned with the toes. And if you need to open slightly your feet, it's also right. Just no tension at all along the leg. So take a few moments, you can close your eyes to increase awareness, to stand quietly. Bring your attention to the contact between your feet and the ground, and make sure you're separating equally the body weight between the right foot and the left foot. Make sure you're pressing properly the center of your heels into the ground, without losing also the contact of the toes and the ball of the feet. Gently stretch your spine, curl the shoulders back. Make sure there's no tension, unnecessary tension in the body or in the breath. And just remind yourself that whatever you're doing, as long as it's under the, let's say, umbrella of yoga, under the context of yoga, should be done with attention. So as long as your body, your breath, and your awareness are all together in the experience, this is a practice. When you feel ready, you can open your eyes. And we will start by mobilizing the neck. So I'm taking the head into a flexion and extension movement. Many times, if the neck is a little bit stuck, you will notice that the movement wants to occur in the waistline or in the ribs. So try to avoid it as much as you can. And also make sure that your jaws are released. Breathe. Inhale and exhale fluently. Then let's bring the head back into the center, and we're going to turn it left and right. And as I said before, the emphasis is not on creating a very intensive stretch. So don't try to reach the edge of the movement. Try to keep a certain rhythm and fluidity. And bring the head back into the center, and then take it left and right, this way. So you will start feeling the sides of your neck softening and opening. And then you're going to try and make full circles. If you have some neck problems and it makes you feel tensed or dizzy, so you can skip the circles. For some people it's not very comfortable, so you can keep on doing a little bit of the previous movements. And very slowly release. We continue with the shoulders area. So while I'm doing these circles, I'm trying to incorporate as many fragments of my shoulder joints as possible, including the arms, the shoulder blades, the muscles of the upper body. Let's change direction of the movement. Make sure you're breathing. And slowly release. Now, cross the fingers of your hands. And move your wrists. Try to release a little bit the shoulders. Don't make your shoulders stiff as you're doing this movement. Change direction of the movement. Breathe. And slowly release. Now let's widen a little bit between our feet. I remind you that this grounding action stays all the time. So although I'm moving with my attention from one area to the other, I'm constantly keeping a certain percentage of my awareness to this grounding action of my feet. And now I'm going to move the pelvis. Make sure these are not the knees doing the movement, yeah? Neither lock the knees, it's not like that. So the legs are moving with the movement of the pelvis. It is as if you have a circle underneath you, and with your pelvis you want to touch the edges of this circle. And breathe. Now change direction of the movement. Most probably you will not feel it the same when you change direction. It's completely normal. Just keep on doing what you're doing. And remember that it is also about awakening awareness. It's not only about warming up. Every area of your body that you move becomes more present and more aware. And slowly release. Now we're gonna step on one foot and we're gonna move the hip joint. In case you feel unstable, feel free to just put a hand on the wall. It's not about dealing with balance. Yeah, so you can put the same hand of the standing leg on the wall to be able to concentrate a bit better on mobilizing the hip joints. And then slowly release. Step on the other foot firmly. And again, this is the same hand of the leg that is standing, that goes to the wall. And obviously you will feel difference between both sides of the body. It's never the same. And slowly release. Now, let's take the feet together. Spread properly the toes and bend your knees. When you bend your knees, don't take your tushy out. Try to gently round the lower back and place the palms of your hands on your knees. I'm not leaning on my knees. I'm not putting weight. I'm just touching. So my knees will be free to move. And then I'm taking knees circles. Don't lock your knees. Try to make the movement as fluent as possible. Change direction. And slowly release. Beautiful. Now, I'm going to change and go down into forefeet position. So, I'm placing my hands under my shoulders and my knees under my pelvis. And the focus goes now to my spine. And as a start, I will take the focus first to the lower back area, and I will only move the lower back. So try to keep your shoulders, neck, and head steady, and breathe. When you feel that the lower back is opened, you can start moving the whole spine. I suggest you take it a bit slower the first couple of times, just to make sure that you're really moving all the vertebrae from the tailbone to the tip of your head. We have 33 vertebrae. Many times there are some of them that kind of move together as one unit. What we would like to do is to articulate the best we can the whole spine. Bring movement and awareness to 33 vertebrae. When I'm exhaling, the head and the tip of the head goes, the head and the tailbone goes down and the spine goes up. And when I'm inhaling, the head and the tail goes up and the spine goes down. I will dedicate some more seconds to my spine. It's a very important area of the body. So you should also take time, be patient. Let's do it once more. And at the end of the next repetition, I'm going to make some hip circles again, this time in this position. So I continue looking a little bit forward. I keep my arms straight. And I'm letting the pelvis lead the movement. In this version, you could feel the hip joint softening, the belly is softening, the lower back is softening. Change direction of the movement. Eventually, when you feel that your body was relaxed from this movement. You can very gently, I will move a bit to be inside the frame. You can very gently take your pelvis back. You keep your knees slightly open, big toes together, and relax the upper body between the inner thighs. Exhale. You will feel that the legs are softening under the body weight. Give yourself a couple of moments there to sense the breath. And as you inhale, slowly come back up. I would like to show you one more version in forefeet position, or two more versions to work on your shoulders. We just did one thing standing, and most people, they tend to have a lot of tensions in this area of the body. If you don't have time to do all this long sequence, you can also choose. And after you do a short review and you realize which area of your body needs more attention, so just do one or two more exercises to this specific area. So in order to work our shoulders in this position, I will face the camera. We are going to stretch our arms and concentrate on the spine staying steady without moving, and just let the shoulders sink down. I'm letting go and gently pushing out. Letting go, so the shoulder blades comes one to the other, closer to each other, and push. Look at it from the side. So the movement is not a movement that comes from the spine, it comes from the shoulder blades. I'm sinking and then separating. Sinking and separating. With a breath. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Once more, inhale, exhale. One more exercise you can do is circles. So again, it's not my elbows bending and stretching, it's not my spine moving, it's the shoulder blades. We rarely move independently the area of the shoulder blades, and it gets stuck and very rigid, and release. And I will turn to the front again. The last thing I'm going to show you is how to rotate inwards and outwards the shoulders in this forefeet position. This specific position, with the contra that the floor is giving, helps you feel if you are really moving the shoulder and the arm. Otherwise, if you do these kind of things standing and the back is in the air, you might cheat without even knowing and bring the movement from another area. So this stability that the floor gives you helps you feel where the movement is really occurring. And in this position, I'm going to inward rotate my arms and then outward, in and out. Breathe. And relax. If your hands are tired, you can very, very gently also do that. Turn the fingers of your hands facing back. Please be very careful if you have some tendinitis in the wrist, so maybe you should avoid it. But if you are a person that works with your hands, even if you are working with the computer the whole day, it's really recommended to do this and to stretch all these tendons. And you can also shift your pelvis very gently backwards until you feel the stretch in the inner wrist, and come forward. Inhale, exhale, and come forwards, inhale, exhale, and come forwards. One last time, exhale, and come forward. So, all right. Now, we're gonna sit. If you feel ready, you can obviously stop the practice only by doing the exercises that I showed previously standing, or you can continue with me for 3-4 more minutes. So I'm going to lean very comfortably back on my hands and open my legs, and I'm going to work also on rotations for my hips. So this time I'm rotating inwardly one thigh, the other knee stays up. Inhale, exhale. Do it slowly, with attention. Make sure you're putting the same attention in each area of your body, both the areas that you consider that they are probably okay, and the areas that you know or you think that are not so okay. The same attention every day. It's like discovering the body time after time again. One last time for each leg. And then bring your feet together and we're going to take both feet from one side to the other. So this puts into the picture an element of a rotation. I'm gently rotating my hip from one side to the other, and with the hip rotates also the lower back. One more time to each side. And slowly release. Now let's sit in a Sukhasana in a comfortable cross-legged position. If your spine is not ready to sit like that and you feel like you're falling backwards on the flesh of your glutes instead of being straight on the sitting bones, so just take a blanket or a little cushion and sit a bit higher so your pelvis can be steady, and the movement is going to happen in the trunk, so the pelvis stays stable and I'm making circles in the upper body. I'm concentrating in the area where the lower ribs and the lower back touch each other, the lower part of the lungs and the kidneys. Working with the breath. And let's change direction of the movement. Two more times. And slowly relax. And one last movement we're going to do today is spine rotation. So as I said before, it's not about pushing the movement to the edge, it's about moving, oiling the joints, all right? So just keep on going, keep on moving until you feel that the joints through the spine are kind of oily. I'm going to inhale when I'm in the center and exhale while I rotate. Inhalation, exhalation. suggest you release your back for some seconds. So just stay in this position and completely relax. Make sure you're blowing your back, your pelvis with a lot of air, big amount of prana. Now, slowly come up by rolling the vertebrae and change the cross of your feet. And we will do it just once more. When you exhale, completely release your spine. Full exhalation. And as you inhale, very slowly come back up. Take a moment to observe the impact of what you've done, the body heat, the way the breath flows, the degree of awareness that you have created. And you can open your eyes gently and either start with your asana practice now that you are more warmed up, or just keep on going with your day. Thank you very much.